Welcome, everyone. Today we will talk about one of the most important topics you will ever hear in your life: how to work on yourself. Not your job, not your situation, not other people, yourself. Because at the end of the day, everything you want in life is connected to one thing: the person you are becoming. Most people spend their whole life trying to fix the outside. They try to change their job, their income, their environment, their relationships, their results. But they ignore the one thing that controls all of these: themselves. And that is why they stay stuck. Because if you do not improve yourself, your life will repeat itself. Different year, same habits, same thinking, same problems. You may change your environment, but if your mindset is the same, you will create the same results again. You may get a new opportunity, but without growth, you will not be able to handle it. You may start something new, but without discipline, you will not be able to continue it. That is why working on yourself is not just important, it is the foundation of everything. Working on yourself does not mean reading quotes or watching videos. It means changing the way you think, the way you act, and the way you live every single day. It means doing what you do not feel like doing, fixing habits that are hurting you, building habits that make you stronger, controlling your mind instead of being controlled by it, improving your skills even when no one is watching, becoming better even when it is uncomfortable. It is not easy, it is not fast, it is not exciting every day, but it is real and it works. Most people never work on themselves because it is uncomfortable. It is easier to blame. It is easier to complain. It is easier to say, "I will start tomorrow." It is easier to stay the same. Working on yourself requires honesty. You have to admit, "I am wasting time. I am not consistent. I am avoiding what matters. I am not disciplined." And most people do not want to face that truth, so they avoid it. But the people who grow face it. And that is the difference. Imagine there are two types of people in this world. The first type waits. They wait for motivation. They wait for the right time. They wait for help. They wait for life to become easier. The second type works. They work even when they do not feel ready. They work even when it is slow. They work even when no one is watching. They work on themselves every single day. After 1 year, their lives are completely different, not because of luck, but because of daily improvement. Step 1. Take full responsibility for your life. If you do not take responsibility, you will never truly change. Because as long as you believe that your life is controlled by something outside of you, you will stay powerless. So the first step is simple, but very difficult. Stop blaming. Stop blaming your situation. Stop blaming your past. Stop blaming people. Stop blaming time. Stop blaming luck. Because every time you blame something else, you give away your control. And without control, you cannot improve. Responsibility does not mean everything is your fault. It means everything is your responsibility to improve. That is a very powerful difference. Maybe your situation is not your fault, but improving it is your responsibility. Maybe your past was difficult, but your future is still your responsibility. Maybe people disappointed you, but your growth is still your responsibility. And the moment you accept this, something changes inside you. You stop waiting. You start acting. Imagine two people living in the same difficult situation. Both are tired, both are struggling, both feel stuck. The first person says, "This is not my fault. Life is unfair. Nothing will change." So they stay the same. Days pass, months pass, years pass. Nothing changes. The second person says, "This situation is hard, but my life is still my responsibility." So they start small. They improve one habit. They learn one skill. They control their time. They reduce distractions. They work on themselves quietly. After 1 year, their life is different. Not perfect, but better, stronger, clearer. That is the power of responsibility. Because when you take responsibility, you stop wasting time on excuses. You stop waiting for someone to save you. You stop blaming your past. And you start focusing on what you can control: your actions, your habits, your time, your growth. That is where real change begins. The moment you stop blaming and start taking responsibility is the moment you take control of your life. And when you are in control, you can become anything. Step 2. Control your daily habits because they control your life. Most people think their life changes in big moments: a big opportunity, a big decision, a big breakthrough. But that is not how real life works. Your life is not built in big moments. It is built in small daily habits. What you do every day becomes who you are. Not what you plan, not what you want, not what you say, what you repeat daily. If you wake up late every day, scroll your phone for hours, avoid difficult work, delay important tasks, live without structure, then your life will slowly become unfocused, stressful, weak, directionless. Not because you are not capable, but because your habits are not supporting your future. If you wake up on time, move your body, spend time learning, practice your skills, focus on what matters, then slowly, without noise, your life becomes strong, clear, disciplined, powerful. You do not feel it immediately, but one day you look back and everything has changed. Your habits are like invisible forces. They do not shout. They do not show results instantly, but they are always working either for you or against you. Every small habit is a vote for the person you are becoming. Think of the small water drop falling on a stone. One drop does nothing, but thousands of drops over time create a hole in the stone. That is the power of repetition. Your daily habits work the same way. Small actions repeated daily create permanent change. Do not try to change your entire life in one day. Start with a few simple habits. Wake up at a fixed time. Give 30 minutes to learning. Spend 15 minutes practicing a skill. Avoid one distraction. Complete one important task. Do it daily, not perfectly, but consistently. Once your habits change, you do not need motivation every day. You do not need to force yourself. Your system carries you forward. You become the kind of person who shows up, follows through, keeps going, and that identity changes everything. You do not rise to your goals, you fall to your habits. So, if you want a better life, build better habits and protect them. Step 3. Learn to do hard things even when you do not feel like it. This is where most people fail, not because they are weak, but because they depend on feelings. They say, I will start when I feel ready. I will work when I feel motivated. I will try when I feel confident. You will not feel ready. You will not feel motivated every day. You will not feel confident at the beginning, and if you wait for those feelings, you will wait forever. Growth feels uncomfortable always. Waking up early feels hard. Studying feels boring. Practicing feels repetitive. Discipline feels painful. Focus feels difficult. That is normal. That is not a problem. That is the process. Think about going to the gym for the first time. Your body hurts. Your muscles feel weak. You feel uncomfortable. So you stop. Now nothing changes, but if you go again and again and again, your body becomes stronger. The same pain that once stopped you becomes your strength. Life works the same way. The things that feel hard at the beginning become easy when you stay consistent. The difference is not intelligence. The difference is simple. One person does what is easy, the other does what is necessary. One person follows comfort, the other follows growth. And over time, that small difference becomes a completely different life. Start training your mind. Do one difficult thing every day. Finish what you start. Do not quit when it becomes boring. Do not stop when it becomes uncomfortable. Even small things matter, Because every time you do something hard, you prove to yourself, I can trust myself. And that builds real confidence. Because when you stop depending on feelings, you become unstoppable. You do not need perfect conditions. You do not need motivation. You do not need the right mood. You act anyway. And people who act consistently always move forward. If you want to change your life, stop asking, do I feel like doing this? Start asking, is this the right thing to do? Then do it. Step 4. Control your environment, or it will control you. Most people think success is about inner strength. They believe if I am strong enough, I can succeed anywhere. But real life does not work like that. Because even the strongest person, if placed in the wrong environment for a long time, will slowly change. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but slowly, quietly, without noticing. And that is dangerous. Your environment is not just a place. It is everything that enters your mind every day. The people you listen to, the conversations around you, the videos you watch, the habits you see daily, the standards that are normal around you. All of this becomes your normal. And once something becomes normal, you stop questioning it. If you are surrounded by people who waste time, then wasting time feels normal. If you are surrounded by people who avoid hard work, then avoiding effort feels normal. If you are surrounded by negativity, then negative thinking feels normal. You do not wake up one day and decide to become like this. It happens slowly through exposure. Now imagine placing it under a slow dripping tap of dirty water. One drop does not change anything. 2 drops do nothing. But after many drops, slowly the entire glass becomes dirty. That is how environment works. It does not destroy you in one day. It changes you slowly until one day you realize, I am not the person I wanted to become. If you place yourself in a better environment where people respect time, where growth is normal, where discipline is expected, where effort is valued, then even if you are not perfect, you start improving. You feel uncomfortable being lazy. You feel uncomfortable wasting time. You feel pushed to become better. And that discomfort is not a problem. It is growth. You do not need to change everything overnight. Start with control. Reduce time with people who bring negativity. Stop consuming content that wastes your mind. Choose what you watch, listen, and follow. Keep your physical space clean and organized. Spend time in silence if needed. Even small changes in environment create big changes in behavior. You cannot always control your situation, but you can control what you allow into your mind. And that is enough to start changing your life. Because when your environment supports you, you do not fight yourself every day. You do not depend only on motivation. You do not feel pulled in the wrong direction. Instead, your surroundings quietly push you forward. You may think you are choosing your environment, but in reality, your environment is choosing who you become. So choose carefully. Step 5. Focus on one direction instead of doing everything. They try to improve everything at the same time. They want better health, better income, better skills, better habits, better lifestyle all at once. And because of that, they achieve nothing. Your energy is limited, your time is limited, your focus is limited. And if you spread it everywhere, it becomes weak. You start something new, you feel excited. Then after a few days, it becomes difficult. Then you get distracted by something else. Then you switch. Then you repeat this pattern again and again. And at the end of the month, you feel busy, but not better. Imagine trying to dig a well to find water. You dig in one place for a few minutes. Then you stop and move to another place. Then again, another place. You keep digging in different spots, but you never go deep enough in one place to reach water. Now imagine choosing one spot and digging deeply, slowly, steadily, consistently. At first, nothing happens. Then the soil changes. Then moisture appears. Then finally, water. The difference is not effort. The difference is focus. Most people do not fail because they are not working. They fail because they are not staying. They do not stay long enough in one direction. They keep changing paths before results appear. Choose one main direction. Not five, not three, just one. Ask yourself, what is the most important thing I need to improve right now? Then commit to it. Work on it daily. Even if progress feels slow, even if it feels boring, even if no one notices, stay. Focus is not about doing more. It is about removing everything that is not important. Every time you say yes to something unnecessary, you weaken your main goal. So you must protect your direction. Because when you focus, your effort becomes stronger. Your results become visible. Your confidence increases. Your identity becomes clear. You stop feeling lost. You start moving forward. You do not need more goals. You need one clear direction and the discipline to stay with it. Step 6. Become the person you respect. Most people are trying to get results. They want success, confidence, respect, better life. But they ignore something very important. Results come after identity. You do not get respect first and then become strong. You become strong first, then respect follows. Right now, there are two versions of you, the person you are today and the person you know you can become. The gap between these two is not luck. It is your daily actions. They say, I want confidence, but they avoid difficult situations. They say, I want discipline, but they break promises to themselves. They say, I want to improve, but they choose comfort again and again. So slowly, they lose something very important: self-respect. Self-respect is simple. It means you trust yourself. You say something and you do it. You decide something and you follow it, even when it is hard, even when no one is watching. Think about a locked door. If the key is weak or broken, the door will never open. In the same way, your promises to yourself are the key to your success, growth. If you keep breaking them, your mind stops trusting you. But if you keep them, even small ones, your mind starts believing. I am someone who does what I say, and that belief changes everything. Start building self-respect daily. Do what you said you would do. Keep small promises. Finish what you start. Don't lie to yourself. Don't escape difficult tasks. Even small actions matter. Because every time you keep your word, you build your identity. Because when you respect yourself, you don't need approval from others. You don't depend on motivation. You don't quit easily. You become stable, strong, and focused. You don't become confident by thinking. You become confident by proving to yourself again and again that you can trust yourself. Step 7. Stop escaping discomfort and start using it. This is where real growth happens. Most people are not weak. They just avoid discomfort. They run from hard work, difficult conversations, discipline, effort, failure, because it feels uncomfortable. Discomfort is not a problem. Discomfort is a signal. It means you are doing something new. You are pushing your limits. You are growing. But most people misunderstand it. They feel uncomfortable and think, this is not for me, so they stop. Imagine learning to swim. The first time you enter water, you feel uncomfortable. Your body is not used to it. You feel unsure. You feel afraid. If you leave immediately, you stay the same. But if you stay, practice, and keep going, your body adapts. What was once uncomfortable becomes natural. Life works the same way. Successful people don't avoid discomfort. They use it, they understand. If this feels hard, it means I am growing, so they stay, they don't run. Start training yourself. Do one uncomfortable thing every day. Speak even when you feel nervous. Work even when you feel lazy. Continue even when it feels boring. Stay even when it gets difficult. Don't escape. Stay. Your comfort zone feels safe, but nothing grows there. Everything you want is outside of it. And the only way to reach it is through discomfort. Because when you stop escaping discomfort, you stop being controlled by fear. You stop quitting early. You stop limiting yourself. You become someone who can handle pressure. And that makes you dangerous in the best way. If you want a better life, stop asking for comfort. Start building strength. Step 8. Stay consistent even when nothing feels like working. This is where most people quit. Not at the beginning, not when they are excited, but in the middle. When things become slow, when results are not visible, when effort feels useless, that is the breaking point. Everyone starts strong, but very few people continue, because consistency is not about doing something when it feels good. It is about continuing even when nothing feels like it is working. You start improving yourself. You wake up early. You practice your skills. You control your habits. For a few days, everything feels good. Then suddenly you feel tired. Results are not visible. Progress feels slow. Doubts start coming. Your mind starts saying, "This is not working. Maybe this is not for me. Maybe I should stop." And most people listen to that voice. They stop. And they go back to their old life. Think about heating water. At 20 degrees, nothing happens. At 40 degrees, still nothing. At 70 degrees, still nothing visible. It looks like your effort is useless. But when it reaches 100 degrees, it starts boiling. The problem is most people stop at 70 or 80. They don't stay long enough to reach the point where results appear. Your effort was not wasted. It was incomplete. Stop focusing only on results. Focus on showing up daily. Do the work. Repeat the process. Stay on your path. Even if progress feels slow, even if you don't feel motivated, even if no one notices. Because consistency builds something invisible. First, momentum. And once momentum builds, results follow. You are not just building results. You are building a version of yourself that does not quit. And that identity is more powerful than any short-term success. Because when you become consistent, you stop starting over. You stop losing progress. You stop depending on motivation. You become reliable. And reliable people always move forward. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to not quit. Step 9. Protect your time like it is your life. Most people say time is important, but they don't treat it like it is. They give it away easily to unnecessary conversations, distractions, scrolling, things that don't matter. And then they say, "I don't have time." Time is not just something you use. Time is your life. Every hour you spend is a part of your life gone forever. You can earn money again. You can fix mistakes, but you cannot get your time back. People don't lose their future in one big mistake. They lose it in small, daily waste. 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 1 hour of distraction, 2 hours of nothing important, and slowly days are gone, then months, then years. Imagine you have a container with small holes at the bottom. You keep pouring water into it, but it never fills. Why? Because it keeps leaking. Your time works the same way. You may try to improve your life, but if you don't close the leaks, distractions, waste, unnecessary things, your progress will always disappear. Start protecting your time. Reduce useless phone usage. Say no to things that don't matter. Avoid people who waste your time. Focus on important tasks first. Use your time with intention. You don't need more time. You need less waste. Time is not equal for everyone. Some people use 24 hours to grow. Some people use the same 24 hours to stay stuck. The difference is not time. The difference is awareness. Because when you protect your time, you create space for growth. You focus on what matters. You move faster than others. And slowly your life starts improving without stress. If you don't control your time will control your life. Step 10. Build your life around a clear purpose. Most people are busy. They wake up, they work, they scroll, they talk, they sleep, and then repeat. They are active, but not moving forward. Why? Because they don't have a clear direction. When you don't have a purpose, you become available for everything. Every distraction pulls you. Every opinion affects you. Every small problem feels big. Every day feels random. You wake up and ask, "What should I do today?" And that question itself is the problem. Purpose is not something complicated. It is simply knowing what you are trying to build, what you want to improve, what direction your life is going. It gives your actions meaning. Imagine you are driving a car without a destination. You can drive for hours, you can use fuel, you can move fast, you can even enjoy the road, but at the end of the day, you have reached nowhere. Now imagine driving with a clear destination. Every turn makes sense, every decision has direction. Even delays don't confuse you because you know where you are going. Life works the same way. Without purpose, you change goals frequently. You lose focus easily. You follow what others are doing. You feel lost even when you are busy. You don't lack effort. You lack direction. Take time to define your direction. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? What am I trying to improve right now? What matters most in my life? Keep it simple. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it must be clear. Purpose does not need to be big. It just needs to be real. Even a simple purpose like improving your English, building a strong mindset, becoming disciplined, creating something of your own is enough to guide your actions. Because when you have purpose, you stop wasting time on meaningless things. You stop getting distracted easily. You stop comparing yourself with others. You become focused, and focused people always move forward. If you don't choose your direction, life will choose it for you. And most of the time, it won't be the one you want. Step 11. Invest in yourself consistently. Most people spend their life trying to improve their situation. They want a better job, more money, better opportunities, more respect, a better lifestyle. But they forget something very important. Your situation improves only when you improve. If you stay the same, your life will stay the same. You can change your environment, but without growth, you will create the same problems again. You can get opportunities, but without skills, you will lose them. You can start something new, but without discipline, you will not continue. That's why the most powerful thing you can ever do is this: invest in yourself. When people hear investment, they think about money. They think, if I invest money, it will grow. But very few people think like this. If I invest in myself, my entire life will grow. And that is the difference. Money can be lost, opportunities can disappear, people can leave. But what you build inside yourself stays with you. It means using your time, energy, and focus to improve yourself daily. Not once, not when you feel motivated, not only when things are going well, but consistently. It means you decide. No matter what happens, I will grow a little every day. You don't need a complicated plan. You need simple, repeatable actions. Every day you invest in your knowledge, your skills, your thinking, your habits, your discipline. Even small actions matter because small investments repeated daily create massive results over time. Think of a small plant. When you water it one day, nothing happens. When you water it for a week, still nothing impressive. It looks the same. It feels slow. Now imagine stopping because you don't see results. The plant dies. Now imagine continuing. Every day you give a little water. Days pass, weeks pass, months pass. Slowly roots grow deeper, leaves become stronger, the plant becomes stable. One day, it becomes a strong tree. The growth was always happening, you just couldn't see it at the beginning. Your self-development works the same way. They invest in everything except themselves. They spend hours on entertainment, time on distractions, energy on things that don't matter. And then they say, my life is not changing. But they are not investing where it matters. What you should invest in daily, focus on these areas. 1. Your skills. Skills create value. The more useful you are, the more opportunities you get. Spend time daily learning, practicing, improving. Even 1 hour a day can change your future. 2. Your mindset. Your thinking controls your actions. If your thinking is weak, you doubt yourself. You avoid challenges. You quit easily. If your thinking is strong, you take action. You stay focused. You handle pressure. So invest time in improving how you think. 3. Your discipline. Without discipline, you start and stop. You depend on motivation. You lose consistency. With discipline, you continue. You build habits. You move forward daily. Discipline is the structure of your growth. 4. Your health. If your body is weak, your mind becomes weak. No energy means no focus, no consistency, no progress. So invest in movement, rest, basic care. You don't need perfection. You need energy. 5. Your communication. Your ability to express yourself changes your life. If you cannot communicate, people don't understand your value. You lose opportunities. You feel less confident if you communicate clearly. You influence, you connect, you grow faster. So invest time in improving how you speak and express. They invest once, then stop. They try for a few days, then quit. That is not investment. That is testing. Real investment is showing up daily. Even when it is boring, even when it is slow, even when results are not visible. At the beginning, your investment feels invisible. You don't see big results. You may even feel like nothing is changing, but something is happening. You are building awareness, strength, control, discipline, identity, and one day everything starts showing at once. After months of investing in yourself, your thinking becomes clear, your habits become strong, your confidence becomes natural, your skills become valuable, your decisions become better. People will say you changed, but they didn't see your daily investment. Because when you invest in yourself, you stop depending on luck. You stop waiting for chances. You stop blaming your situation. You become someone who creates results. And that is real power. You are either investing in yourself or wasting yourself. There is no middle. Every day is either building you or reducing you. If you want a future that is better than your present, don't wait for it. Don't hope for it. Don't dream about it. Build it by investing in yourself every single day. At the end of the day, no one is coming to change your life. It's you, your habits, your decisions, your actions. Work on yourself every day, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, because one day, all that effort will turn into a life you're proud of. Start now. Don't wait.